Don't go away. It's time to play Truth or Consequences. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the founder and originator of America's #1 television fun game, Truth or Consequences. Mr. This Is Your Life himself, Ralph Edwards.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to the daytime debut of Truth or Consequences. Oh, man, what a day this is. As most of you know, this is the granddaddy of all audience participation shows, Truth or Consequence. Matter of fact, we'll soon be 17 years old, just, come this March. And over that period of time, we've done just about everything and anything you can think of, from having a contestant train a seal to swim the English Channel, you remember, back when they were all doing that, to having a college student tucked away on a desert island in the Pacific Ocean for 10 weeks and then bringing him back to catch up with the world, and from sending a man around the world on a pogo stick, racing a guy in an airplane, to having a would-be golfer drive a golf ball here from Hollywood, California, all the way out to our namesake city, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Everybody say hello to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico this morning, will you? Hello, Truth or Consequences. Out there on Highway 85. Yes, sir, we're proud of our namesake city. With it all, though, we like to think we've done a little good here and there, because we're tremendously proud of the fact that we've raised, between $10 and $15 million for worthwhile charities and deserving individuals. Thanks to you folks. Right now, though, briefly, I'd like to tell you what's in store for you folks out there in the weeks to come on this new experience for Truth or Consequences, 5 days a week. Staff up early to work, right, Ed Bailey? Everybody on the job? Bill Birch, oh my. First of all, I know I'm excited as all get out about Truth or Consequences, brand new master of ceremonies. We're going to miss old jolly Jack Bailey, you know, but he's so busy crowning queens he barely has time to go from breakfast to the coronations every day. I know you watch Queen for a Day every day with Jolly Jack. So we started a search for just the right guy to be our new Truth or Consequences head man. A search that lasted until only just a few days ago to show you how tough it was. Man, oh man, what a lot of talented fellas we auditioned for Truth or Consequences. Every one of them could be a great Truth or Consequences MC. But the man we finally selected, we think, has one of the brightest futures in television. And so it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you the young man who's going to be coming into your front parlor 5 days a week with Truth or Consequences here on NBC, beginning right now. Remember this name. You're going to be hearing a lot about him. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Barker. Here's Bob. Hiya, kid. Limber? All set? Let's see. Dean Cromwell always says, yep, he's ready. Relax. That's good. Nice to... Huh?
I feel like I had Perry O'Brien's shot put, right?
Nice to have you aboard, Bob.
Believe me, it's a thrill and an honor for me to be here, Ralph. But, gee, following you and Jack Bailey, I feel like I'm hitting after Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig.
Well, we got to bring the DiMaggios and the Mantles along, you know. All I can say is every one of us here on Truth or Consequences, the whole family, they just want you to feel right at home.
Well, they've all done all they can to make me feel at home, and I appreciate it. But I was wondering, Ralph, if you'd be good enough to stick around for a little while.
Try to get rid of me. Push me.
And help me tell our viewers about a tremendous jackpot contest we're going to start on Truth or Consequences in just a few minutes.
Yes, sir. One of our famous Hush contests.
You're the one who started the Hush contest. Gee, it must have been 10 years ago, wasn't it?
That's right.
Well, we just hope that this contest is going to be as big as that one was. And I think it might be interesting for you to tell us, Ralph, who was the first Mr. Hush on your series?
Well, in just a moment, I'll not only tell you, I'll let you meet the original Mr. Hush and hear the very first riddle and see if you remember and can guess who it is. Right now, though, for the very best in shows to see, here's a word from NBC.
Hi, Janie. Drop everything, honey. It's time for a coffee break.
Oh, could I use one? Sit down, Blanche. So what's new outside of washing dishes, cooking meals, taking care of your brood, and all that jazz?
Not a thing, Janie. Now, Oh, yes, there is. Top of the morning.
Give that to me again. I'm not with it yet this morning.
Top of the morning. Oh, haven't you heard? That's what NBC is calling their new lineup of morning shows. Well, first there's Home with Arlene Francis. That's moving up to a time spot an hour earlier. The show's better than ever, of course. And then there's that one with the bidding for prizes and all that. Oh, you've seen it, I'm sure. The Price is Right, that's it. And right after that, Truth or Consequences, where anything can happen to those poor contestants.
Well, get her. You sound excited about the whole thing. Where are you going?
Got to get my ironing done. Leave room to see all those shows. They start this week.
Where?
NBC Television.
Right, now back to Truth or Consequences and our brand new MC, Bob Barker. Folks, and Bob, remember this voice and this riddle?
Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 10, lights out.
Can you remember, ladies and gentlemen, the original Mr. Hush, one of the greatest sports figures of all times and equally great guy, Mr. Jack Dempsey. Here's Oh, Jack, seeing you sure brings back a lot of memories, boy.
Same here, Ralph.
Oh, shake hands with Bob Barker, the new MC of our 5-day-a-week Truth or Consequences here on NBC.
Good luck.
I'll be lefty the rest of my life.
Yeah, play it with one
In
hand.
spite of the fact that you crippled me, I want to thank you, Jack, for coming down to the studio and helping us bring in not only the new year and our new daytime show,
He's not
the
so
consequences.
big. I think we could take him.
That's all right.
He's
I
not so
think,
big.
but also to ring in our new Mrs. Hush contest.
Right, only this time, instead of being what you were, Mr. Hush, as Bob says, it's going to be Mrs. Hush. Folks, beginning Wednesday, January 9th, Bob here will be calling a different one of you viewers on the telephone each day of the week.
And if that person can tell me the correct identity of Mrs. Hush, he or she will receive our giant jackpot of prizes.
Sounds like old times, doesn't it, Jack?
It sure does, Ralph.
You betcha. Now, as long as Mrs. Hush's identity remains a mystery, what happens, Bob?
Well, the contest will continue as long as Mrs. Hush is not identified.
Mm-hmm.
Then each and every day, we'll add a great new prize to the contest.
Now, what are we going to start out with?
Well, have a look at this beautiful Studebaker Seahawk, the only 5-passenger sports-type car in America, and built with traditional Studebaker quality and craftsmanship. But that's only the beginning.
Bet it is. There'll be additional gifts like you've never seen before. You remember the giant jackpot of prizes when Jack Dempsey was Mr. Hush? Man, it's going to be just as big and maybe bigger. They'll all go to the person, one of you viewers at home, who correctly identifies Mrs. Hush.
Now, in just 1 minute, you'll not only see Mrs. Hush, but you'll actually hear her give you a most important clue to her identity.
Righto.
Oh, that I don't want to miss.
Me either, Jack. Who knows, it might be Clara Bow again. She was Mrs.
Hey,
Hush.
Bob, come on, be a sport. Tell us who it is.
Well, you won't tell anyone.
No, nobody.
All right, bend down. You'll have to come down here a little low.
Bob, Gene Tunney's a man.
Oh, that's a joke, Jack!
Besides, I've got scars to prove it. But seriously, boys, good luck to you on the new daytime Truth or Consequences and Mrs. Hush, whoever she is.
Thank you, Jack Dempsey, for coming down and visiting us today. And be sure and give my regards to all your associates back there at DeVry Technical Institute in Chicago. A great school, DeVry, doing a great job training the youth of America.
Thank you very much, Ralph, and good luck to you. Bob, you look like a
No,
real...
once is enough.
Hey, it's scaredy cat. Come back and fight like a man. Come on. No. Oh, my. Well, let's get a rolling here.
Well, first, it's time for us to let the NBC stations from coast to coast identify themselves, and we'll be right back.
Oh, let's see. We're going to hear about Mrs. Hush, aren't we? Yeah. All right.
We'll let them identify themselves later?
Yeah, let's do
People
that.
want to know who they
Yeah,
are.
come back, you stations, wherever you are. And we'll hear from Mrs. Hush at this time, I think. All right. Here she is. Watch carefully and listen. Then if Bob calls you on the telephone, and you can tell him.
Like a moth, I'm attracted to flame. What a sorrow I reap with my name. Cameras grind my form to record, but all I want is my room and board.
Do you know who that woman is? You should.
Indeed you should, ladies and gentlemen. In just a moment now, Bob Barker will tell you how you can become eligible for a telephone call to win our Truth or Consequences jackpot. But first, Here's what to look for and what to see if you set your tune to NBC.
Now, riding out of the legendary past when knighthood was in flower, the adventures of Sir Lancelot. Sir Lancelot, known to all as the bravest of the brave, he shunned no combat, feared no man or men. Daring, bold, gallant, invincible in battle, he fought for honor. A brilliant swordsman, a dashing gladiator. While never provoking a battle, he never avoided one, and soon fought his way to knighthood.
I proclaim you Sir Lancelot of the Lake, a knight of the Round Table.
The valiant champion of his queen, Guinevere. Ever faithful to King Arthur of the Round Table. Befriended by the wizard Merlin. From out of the past, Sir Lancelot rides to glory once again, taking up armor against all those who would pervert truth and decency. As exciting as a joust, as thrilling as a fight to the death. See the adventures of Sir Lancelot tonight on NBC television. Over most NBC stations.
Look like the guys in the gray flannel suit here today, Bob. I didn't know we were going to wear the same costumes, too.
We got a song and dance act. Can you sing?
No.
I can't dance. Well, ladies and gentlemen, listen closely, because I'm going to tell you now how you can enter our Mrs. Hush contest. If you'd like to be eligible for a telephone call, you just put your full name, your address, and your telephone number on a postcard and send that postcard to Mrs. Hush, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
Now remember that address, Mrs. Hush, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. Just your name, address, and phone number on a postcard. That right?
That's right. That's all you have to do. You know, Ralph, all of this, I'm beginning to breathe again, but all of this is... It's
doing
really,
well. Isn't he doing great,
it's
ladies
amazing.
and gentlemen? This is Bob Barker. I'm going to let you be on your own here.
I just wanted to explain how amazing this is. 1 week ago, I had a radio show on KGFJ, a local station here in Hollywood, and this guy happened to be in his car, and he happened to have the radio on. He just happened to have it tuned to the right station. He gave me a call. I went down to his office, and here I am, MC of my favorite audience participation show, working for a guy I've admired him forever.
Well, I tell you what, it's our Christmas present, Bob, and we're grateful. From here on out, though, you're on your own, and as the weeks go on, folks, you're really going to get to know this swell fella. Take him to your hearts just as we have. Right now, I'm going on into the audience and watch. Good luck, happy consequences. Let's have some contestants out here. Good luck, Bob Barker.
Tell him to be careful on the stairs. I don't want anything to happen to that guy. And bring on these ladies, will you please? We have 4 ladies here, all approximately the same age. The ideal age, we think, for the consequence they are going to have to pay if they don't answer their question correctly. Now, let's see. I believe that one of you was the most middle-aged lady in our audience today. And which one was that?
I'm afraid that was me.
That was this lady right here. Would you step forward here just a bit and tell me your name?
Marjorie B. Lote,
And you're how old?
36.
But if statistics are correct and the average lifespan of a woman in the United States is 72, then you're middle-aged at 36.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah. Did you know when you came to Truth or Consequences today that time had caught up with you?
Well, sometimes I feel like it, but I didn't know it today.
What are the symptoms? Where do you begin falling apart first?
I think it's when I'm out picking weeds out my lawn.
I see. I thought you creaked a little when you came out there. What is your name?
Marguerite Martin.
Marguerite Martin?
Yes.
Marguerite, think about your friends. You call them your lady friends or the girls?
Oh, the girls.
Well, think about the girls. Just draw a mental picture of the girls and tell me, do you think that men or women age more rapidly?
Oh, man.
You think men do?
Men.
I tell you what, we'll pursue this further, but now I believe it's really time for that station break we talked about. Let's let the NBC stations from coast to coast identify themselves. We'll be right back.
America's #1 television fun game, Truth or Consequences. And here he is, the star of our show, Bob Barker.
And we're back with Mrs. Martin here, who has just told me that you think men age more rapidly than women.
Yes.
Well, I'm rather surprised, really, that you should answer that.
Why?
Well, aren't the girls beginning to look a little tired?
No.
The boys look tired.
Yes.
Speaking for the men of America, Mrs. Martin, I think you're going to receive one of the smaller prizes today. Why? Come on out here and tell me who you are.
I'm Mrs. Harold Ketterer.
Mrs. Harold Ketterer, we all like to be flattered about our age, don't you think?
Mm-hmm,
In fact, we all like to be flattered about most anything, don't we?
That's right, we do.
And I think that many times you wives sort of use flattery to take advantage of us husbands, don't you?
Well.
Have you ever?
I try.
I'll tell you what. Let's just imagine that we've moved our NBC cameras into your living room, and I'm your husband, and you want to buy something or you want to do something, and in any event, you want my permission, and you're flattering me. Surely you can think of something. How would you go about it? How would you...
I tell my husband he looks like Clark Gable. Uh-huh.
You don't stop there.
Well, no. I bring him his slippers and his pipe, and we take on from there, I and the children.
Until she said children, I was going to ask her to marry me. Well, I'm coming down here now and meet the fourth lady in our group. What is your name?
Naoma White.
Naoma, I'm going to make you the captain of this team, and this is a team. You four ladies are going to act as a team. I have a question I want to ask you. You know how we play Truth or Consequences?
Yes.
I ask you this question. If you answer it correctly, you win a whole raft of prizes. If you do not give me the correct answer, then you must pay the consequences. You understand?
Yes.
All right. You can talk it over with them. Here's your question. What do you call a guy who crossed the ocean twice without taking a bath? Did you know you had a run in your hose here?
Oh, yes. I run all the time.
No, really, you have a terrible run.
Is that
right down here. Mm-hmm. Look. Oh, there's Beulah the buzzer. You didn't answer your question. So you must pay the consequences. But for your information and edification, what do you call a guy who crossed the ocean twice without taking a bath? A dirty double-crosser. So you must pay your consequences. All right, now... With the Rose Bowl coming up tomorrow, we thought it would be interesting to have a preview of the Rose Bowl. And we're going to unveil our own Rose Bowl. And we can do this much more dramatically if you two ladies will go right over there with Ed Bailey. Will you go along? And you two come right over here with me. Right over here, will you please? And now, will the gentleman in charge of unveiling Rose Bowls unveil? And here is our Rose Bowl. You see the goal post? We're going to have a field goal kicking exhibition. Go right back here. Behind the hats, right back here. That's right. Line up right here in front of the hats. Now, what we're going to have you do is kick these hats over the goal post. Now, if you all kick your hats over the goal post, you all receive a very nice prize. But if just one of you does not kick her hat over the goal post, then none of you receive a prize. Is that understood?
Yes.
All right, take your shoes off, will you please? All of you take your shoes off. Mrs. Martin, you have beautiful feet. You really do. That's the truth. When I came in today, the first thing I noticed were your feet. That's right. Something as big as that, you couldn't miss them. They're not really big. They're not much bigger than mine. Now, bring out the helmets. We want them protected. Put some helmets on them. And, you know, Mrs. Bellot, you have a striking resemblance to Bronco Nagurski. You really do. And now we're going to have each of you kick these hats. Oh, wait. I have to put something under one of these hats. Ed, where's the brick? The brick. Here we go. All right. Turn your backs. I'll put the brick under one of these hats. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I wonder which lady will break her toe. Put the brick under one of the hats, and, all right, Charlie, they can turn around now. Now, we have that brick under one of these hats. And I think we'll start with you. As the captain of the team, which of these hats would you like to kick over the goalpost?
Oh, the brown one.
You like brown? Go right ahead. Kick away. Uh-huh. Very nice. Are you going to play for Oregon State or Iowa?
No.
No, that's a good answer. Now, which one would you like?
I like gray.
Light gray?
Yeah.
Isn't there a suspicious bulge on this side of that gray one?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Your toe. Go right ahead and kick. Go what? Go. Yeah. Well, that's good enough. It went under. And now, Mrs. Ballot, we have 2 hats left. Your chances are 2 to 1 now. Which hat do you want to kick? Huh? Why, no! Oh! All right, well, we'll finish it for you. That's all right. Now, my friend with the beautiful feet. Down here. Now, just a minute. All right, one last look at that lovely toe. All right? Now, remember, no one gets a prize unless you kick it over there. Go ahead, Mrs. Martin. Will you do it? Now, all the way. No, don't just tap it. Kick it over there. Kick it. Get. Ah! Come on. Wait. That's it. You have tremendous courage. Fine. You all came through. You had the true spirit. You know, Notre Dame could have used you this year. Yeah. Notre Dame could have used anybody this year. But for each of you, we have a beautiful Sunbeam automatic percolator, which ensures you a perfect cup of coffee every time. What do you think of our football team? They're all right, aren't they? And now, in just exactly 1 minute, you'll see our second Truth or Consequences contestant try to catch a fish worth $1,000 in cold, hard cash. Don't miss it. But first, here's news worth noting on what to see from the network you're watching, NBC.
Home, after years from a foreign land. What does he see as America takes shape before his eyes? Perhaps the restless stirring of a mighty city, or the dreaming peace of a quiet farm. A river that seems to go on forever, or mountains rising to meet the sky. Perhaps a girl he used to walk with. A home that spells the security he missed. And part of this security, with millions of Americans, rests on the firm foundation of United States savings bonds. Bought regularly on your own initiative, or through payroll savings, or the bond-a-month plan at your bank. And at maturity, they give you back $4 for every 3. Many things make up the security that means home in America. Make yours secure with United States savings bonds.
You know what this is? This is a $1,000 bill. They had to tell me. I've never seen one before either. But we have a gentleman here who may win this $1,000 bill. Where is he? Sneaking up on my blind side. Come on up here, will you please? And tell me who you are.
Stuart Bradley.
Stuart Bradley? I'm putting a $1,000 bill in my pocket that might very well be yours. Now, before we go any further, there are a couple of things I want to find out about you. First of all, do you like to fish?
Yeah.
You like to fish?
Uh-huh.
Could you, if the consequence required it, that you'll have to pay, that is, if you don't answer your question, could you come back to Truth or Consequences Wednesday? You see, we won't be on tomorrow because of the Rose Parade and the Cotton Bowl and the Rose Bowl. You could come back Wednesday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, you could come back.
Yeah.
I assume you're not married.
Yeah.
Well, if you're married, how do you know so well that you can do what you want to do tomorrow or any other day? Huh?
Well, I don't know. You said it's about fishing, and my wife usually goes fishing with me, so maybe we should
My
stick
friend,
around.
I don't think your wife will want to go fishing this time. I have a question here I'd like to ask you. If gold is where you find it, where is silver? If gold is where you find it, where is silver? There's the feel of the buzzer. It's too late. Silver is under the Lone Ranger. Now, you're going to have to pay your consequence, so come along with me, will you please? Come right over here. And here's where you're going to do your fishing. Now, this is 2 feet deep. It's 12 feet in diameter. And where have you done most of your fishing?
Oh, up in Maine?
If you fished the streams of Maine, they're much more turbulent. They're much bigger. It'd be much more difficult to catch a fish in a stream in Maine than it would in this, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You think? Well, bring in the fish, will you please? Now, you see, these are lazy little fish. They should be easy to catch, don't you think?
Yeah.
5 goldfish. All look pretty much the same. We'll put those in the pond. And now, I want you to see the very particular fish that we want you to catch. Bring that in here, will you please? You'll notice that it has a purple mark on the top of it. Do you see that purple mark? Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, that's going in here. We'll have 6 fish in the pool. We want you to catch the one with the purple mark on top.
Mm-hmm.
Now, looking at that fish, what type of tackle would you use if you were out to catch it?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to check with the local people and find out what they're biting on right around now.
Well, I'll tell you what the local people told me they're biting on right now. They're biting on a strainer about the size of this one right here. Now, with this strainer, we want you to get into that pool and catch that fish with a purple mark on it, and you have only 1 minute to do it in. If you do it in 1 minute, you win $1,000. Do you understand?
Yeah?
You get $1,000, or you may win a year's supply of canned goods, courtesy of Mr. Don R. Grimes, president of more than 6,000 IGA food stores in the United States and Canada. Here, you take this. We don't want you to get in there with your nice clothes on. Come over here, right through these curtains. Come on, we haven't much time now. Right through these curtains here. Get in there and change your clothes. Now, he's going to change his clothes. He's going back into the pool with his strainer, go after that fish. If he gets it, he wins $1,000. And, of course, we hope he's successful on the first dive. Yeah. Right now, though, here's a program hint on what to see from the #1 network, NBC.
Once again on New Year's Day, NBC color cameras will cover the world-famous Rose Parade at Pasadena, California. The theme of this year's parade, Famous Firsts in Flowers. Preparations for the parade are well underway. Work on some 65 floats becomes more and more intense as New Year's Day draws near. The final job of pasting the flowers into position takes place all day and far into the night on New Year's Eve. High school students cover every inch of the floats with flowers and greenery fresh for the parade. More than 1 million people will line the streets of Pasadena, and all over America, millions more at home will tune to NBC for complete coverage of the nation's most lavish parade. In compatible color, as well as black and white, you can watch the 1957 Rose Parade unfold in all its glory and pageantry through the eyes of NBC cameramen. It's a New Year's Day spectacle you'll surely want to see.
See the most fabulous of all the Rose Parades tomorrow on most NBC stations.
All right, you remember Mr. Bradley's changing his clothes. That's good enough. Come on, we don't have much time. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Now, you have 1 minute. 1 minute with the strainer. You must get the fish. In you go, boy. 1 minute. Watch the clock. Oh, Ralph, tell me about this. Here it is, over here. Over here. Over here. No, in your booth. Back there. Way back there. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Here he is. Right down here. Down here. Right over here. 25 seconds. 25 seconds. 15 seconds. There it goes over there. 15 seconds. 15. 10 seconds. Over here. Here he is. You're after the wrong fish. Just 5 seconds to go. Just 5 seconds. All right. Here he is. Time's up. Time's up. Well, I don't know who's wetter, Mr. Bradley or me. In any event, Mr. Bradley, now, you didn't get your fish today, but you can. You can come back. You can come back on Wednesday and try again.
Yeah?
All right, Mr. Bradley. Thank you very much. Ed, see if you can find a towel for him, will you please? How about Bob Barker? Didn't you do a wonderful job? Congratulations, Bob. We hope you'll be watching Bob every weekday here on NBC, ladies and gentlemen. This is one New Year's Eve that guy will never be able to say he didn't get tanked.
Bob, you've just done great. Tomorrow, of course, is the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl, but be sure to be with him on Wednesday. So long. Good luck, Bob Barker.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you very much.
Come on, boys. 1 minute.